scheme has seen initial interest. The government has received 20 billion bids to make semiconductors. For more on the story, we're joined by our India business correspondent, Archana Shukla. Archana, welcome to you. So give us more details.
This is the product-linked incentive scheme where the government provides financial assistance to companies that want to set up manufacturing bases in India across a host of sectors. And the recent one has been semiconductors at a time when globally the industries are facing shortage of semiconductors, and the Indian demand is expected to go up in the next 3 to 4 years with their push on electric vehicles and 5G. In this, they have seen initial interest from even foreign players. 4 large companies, 5 bids for worth $20 billion worth of investments have been pitched. The largest bid has come in from the oil to metals multinational giant Vedanta, that has formed a joint venture with Foxconn. The other companies are like a consortium of investors from Abu Dhabi and Singapore-based IGSS Ventures, who are among some of the others that have made their pitch. Now remember, India imports 100% of its requirement on semiconductors currently, and any movement further on manufacturing any range of products on semiconductors will help it to strengthen its pitch on self-reliance in this space. However, the actual impact on ground will be made not only on designing, where India is a favorable destination, designing of semiconductors, but the actual impact will be felt on ground only when the fabrication of semiconductors and products in the range of semiconductors will actually move to India, and only then will some part of India's reliance on semiconductor imports will be reduced.
And is the larger incentive scheme successful in India?
Well, these product-linked incentive schemes were launched last year during the pandemic. The government was aiming, for certain key sectors like medical devices, like pharmaceutical raw materials for pharmaceutical ingredients, among others, where they wanted to reduce the dependence, particularly from countries like China, and also to have a strengthened supply chain for these products, especially if the world has to deal with recurring cases of the pandemic and lockdowns. There have been multiple phases of this scheme. The recent one, like I spoke about, was on semiconductors. The very recent previous one was on the automobile part, where about bids were worth about $6 billion for local manufacturing of auto components and components that could go into the electric vehicles were being submitted. Remember, these proposals will go through a review process by the government, and only then most of it will come upstream, maybe by 2024-25. But a lot of experts have cited that providing financial assistance will be just one aspect of luring investors and manufacturers to come and set up shop in India. The other bits will be to make it easier to do business in India, and also to maybe relook at some of the curbs, investment curbs, like from China that India had placed. Remember, the IT hardware industry in India found it very difficult to actually go ahead with this scheme, because a large part of the components are sourced globally from China, and there is a curb on Chinese investment in that sector in India. So some of these will have to be relooked for manufacturing to actually move their bases to India, and for the impact to actually have an impact on ground, and local manufacturing to be boosted.
Okay, Archana Shukla, thank you very much for joining us from Mumbai.